Right, we are at Three Sisters kart circuit. Back here we did the one lapper earlier on in the year. We are now back for the 2-lap version, which we will need to remember. This is practice. So target times, I've been here and done the 2-lapper once before, and my best was an 81.05, I think, a smidge over 81. The class record I think we are aiming for is an 80.05 or somewhere around there, so a second quicker. The weather is forecast just like when we come early in the year, because it is not it is on the outskirts of Manchester, so as you'd expect it can rain at any point. It rained on and off all day last time, and the forecast for today is rain on and off all day. Doesn't look very menacing at the minute in the sky, but this is only practice. By the time we get to timed runs we may have some rain or drizzle, but we'll just have to play it by ear. This track is very grippy when it's dry, but like an ice rink when it's wet. So yeah, let's see how practice goes, see what the grip levels are like, and then pray that at least we get 1 or 2 dry runs. It's a long-term event, so we should get a lot of runs like we normally do throughout the day. So yeah, let's pray for a dry 1 or 2 and try and maximise it when it is dry. Not bad, steady way to start with. Yeah, definitely got more grip on that second time round. Tyres very, very cold to start with. Very slippy, but let's hope they warm up. So, coming down for timed run 1. The rain is holding off. There's tiny little bits of spitting on the windscreen, but nothing right now that's going to affect anything. So an 82.4 I think in that practice run. So we'll aim for an 81 point something in this. There's definitely areas I can be neater on and quicker on. So we'll try and get an 81 in this one as a banker run, and then as long as it stays dry we will push for an 80. a second quicker than last time. Still a bit scruffy. The ultimate grip levels just ain't there. It's still squirming and sliding. So I can definitely go quicker if it was a hot day, but given the conditions, it wasn't too bad. 80.18. Can we get under an 80? Let's see. Right, timed run 2, just before lunch. The rain has in the main stayed away. We've had bits of spitting, but hopefully, fingers crossed, nothing that'll affect the times. Wind's picked up as well, so yeah, let's give it the beans again. See if we can get any improvement on the 80.14, I think it was, something like that. An 80 flat, I think, is the record we're going for. So we just need another couple of temps off. If we can nail it, let's see. See if the diff holds out as well. So the good news here is, at Three Sisters, I don't need fourth gear. So we've got no fourth gear to worry about. But the other thing to worry about is the diff is leaking from where the drive shafts go in. I've ordered some seals, oil seals, but they're going to take a few weeks to get here, so let's hope the diff holds out and the gearbox holds out and I hold out and there's no other issues. But yeah, let's just see what we can do. Right, it started spitting now, sod's law, but we're still going to give it the beans. The track should be 90% dry, so we'll just see what the grip's like. Conditions. We'll see what it's like after dinner. Definitely slipping about a bit more than the other two runs. But yeah, lunch next, and then we'll see if it dries up, see what it's like this afternoon. Yeah, I think we need to call it a day. It's quite horrendous out there. Right, back from a very wet and soggy Three Sisters. Only got a couple of runs in the end, but a couple of runs good enough to get a new PB, which was nice. So, got there. Weather forecast very, very mixed, like it was earlier in the year. And yeah, it held off, the rain held off till dinner, but then absolutely teamed it down and carried on for about 2 or 3 hours. It only stopped when we were doing the presentation, right at the end of the day, like 3:30. the organisers finished early at 3 o'clock because it didn't look like there was going to be any more dry running. And there probably wouldn't have been, even though it stopped at about 3:30. The ground was absolutely sodden, and so was the track. And kart tracks, when they were outside, are like ice rinks, as I said. So, yeah, luckily enough, not great conditions, as I said on the video. If it was sunny and hot, I think I could have gone a lot quicker. That first lap on every run, the tyres needed getting up to temperature. It was squirming and slipping. You could just feel there wasn't the ultimate grip there. Where if the tyres were hot and the tarmac was hot, there would be. So it was never going to be out and out top pace. But we managed an 82.4 in practice, and then the first proper go, time run 1, an 80.18. And I knew at that point, if it stayed dry, there was definitely a 79 there, because that 80.18 by any stretch was not perfect, but just getting into it, pushing, seeing where the limits were. But yeah, it probably takes like 3 or 4 runs to nail everything correctly. There's always a bit of time, and you make a slight error, or you don't take the ideal line through a corner, so you're always trying to tweak it as you go through the day. But unfortunately, we didn't get to do that this time. So second run, started just spitting as I started. By the end of my run, it was spitting a bit heavier, and then from there it just got worse and worse and worse. So I mean, after me, I managed an 80.8, so it was only about 7/10 slower than the run before, but everybody then after me were just going slower and slower and slower, and to the point where it was like 10-15 seconds slower when it started raining properly. Yeah, and the day never recovered. So very short and sweet, but managed a new PB by nearly a second, only a tenth or so off the target time. So given the conditions on the day, pleased enough that I got one run in at respectable time, and we move on to Blyton in 2 or 3 weeks, where I did really well last time. So again, it's all down to what the weather conditions are like on the day, but we will see. Thank you.